You know, the other day I debated like a hardcore Trump supporter, and he was crazy. It was the guy who thought he was the Joker. And one of the go-to talking points for this guy was that Trump created a lot of new jobs. And if I'm being honest, he kind of got me on that one because Trump has created a lot of new jobs, a lot of new fact checking jobs. Honestly, for the last 4 years, fact checkers have had a really, really busy, 4 years, like a whole, like, holy shit. They've been having to go the fuck off because almost every word that comes out of Trump's mouth is either an outright lie, extremely misleading, or extremely misinformed. So fact checkers have had a crazy, crazy amount of work to do. And this goes the same for conservative pundits that have gained a lot of traction for the last few years, especially during Trump's presidency. One of them being Candice Owens. Now, I've never seen this video before. I don't know what's coming. It's 12 minutes long, so we're going to go ahead and watch it. Candice Owens says, "Guess what? Am suing the fact checkers," in quotes. She am suing. This video has 600,000 plus views, and she hasn't even fixed her title. So that's terrifying, but let's go ahead and watch this, for some reason, vertical camera. Also, never mind. Let's watch.
Hello, YouTube. I know I've got to get a lot better at doing YouTube videos. I ironically started on YouTube, and now I don't do any YouTube videos, and I need to announce that I'm doing YouTube videos and figure out how to work this whole system again. But I just want to do this really quick video because I wanted to update you all on something that I've been working on. I know everyone right now who is a patriot in America is fighting, and I think that right now we are realizing
Oh yeah, are you guys aware of how the fuck does Carlo keep getting unbanned? Are you you're like Talion from Shadow of War? Every time I kill you, you come back to haunt me. How the fuck? Hey, Lonnie, can you go ahead and ban Carlo? Because I have no fucking... Apparently, I can't do it. I'll have to talk to White Nervosa, because apparently now bans aren't working. I have no fucking clue what's going on. But, do I need to, like, reiterate? I'll do, like, a quick, going over everything as to the history of Candice Owens. Candice Owens is without a doubt, there's no debate here, an absolute grifter, okay? There's, like, undeniable evidence of this as well. So for those of you guys that aren't aware, Candice Owens was probably one of the most criticized SJWs there was back during the Gamergate days. She even made a website called Social Autopsy, or Social Media Autopsy, something like that. That was literally a website designed to dox people who bullied other people online. Like, that was her website. She got shit on by everybody from this, like from left and right. And on top of this, she also got help from, was it the NAACP? Something like that. Some like African-American oriented civil rights organization that helped her sue, I think it was like her college or sue something or someone on the basis of her being discriminated against for her race. There's like a whole document out there, a whole story, like a whole fucking article out there that chronicles her grift and how it's like evolved over the years. Yeah. It's fucking nuts. She's like scammed her landlord once, which is, I know, landlords do suck. However, pretty fucking hypocritical concerning the ideology that she pushes, being very pro-landlord and whatnot. So let's go ahead and watch this grifter tell us about how she's going to sue the fact-checkers.
just how bad tech censorship is. This last couple of days of the election, the President of the United States has been censored over and over again. If the President of the United States is not free to tweet or to write something to the people without fact-checkers coming in and swooping it and removing the content...
He's not free to tweet? Really? He's not free... Okay, by the way, the social media censorship thing is a fucking myth, okay? The First Amendment protects your ability to say whatever you want to say within reason. Obviously, you can't threaten that you're going to murder somebody, right? But to say what you want to say, express the opinion you want to express without any repercussions from the government, from like legal repercussions. However, private property and private platforms do withhold the ability to deplatform you if they decide that you're breaking their terms of service. And Twitter has not banned Donald Trump. They will be banning him as soon as as Biden gets sworn in, but they have been fact-checking responsibly his posts. When Trump lies about the results of the election, it is responsible for something like Twitter to say, by the way, this isn't true. This is unsubstantiated. Trump has 88 million followers on Twitter, I believe. That is 88 million. Granted, many of those followers are probably bot accounts and stuff like that, and people who don't actually read or like his tweets or engage with them. But 88 million followers, nonetheless, is a massive platform on Twitter. He's the president of the United States. Being able to call him out and fact check his tweets, which are considered public statements in many cases, is important. I really don't, there's literally no problem. You can't argue that there's an actual problem with Twitter adding a little footnote at the bottom of his tweet saying, this claim is disputed or untrue, when it is.
None of us are free. And let me just say this, for everybody who's loving this because you hate Trump, for every single person that is sitting back enjoying watching our country turn to a socialist country, just so you know, Trump's not going to be here forever.
This is so, sometimes, I'm a very self-reflective person, okay? I like to look at my opinions and be like, am I wrong about this? Is this an opinion that I hold that is completely unsubstantiated by any fact? And in many cases, I'll change my opinion if I come to that conclusion. But for some reason, but whenever a conservative says some dumb shit like this, I get, like, my opinion is affirmed, like, reaffirmed. Like, I literally, my opinion is backed up whenever I find that conservatives are willing to say something so demonstrably false, that Joe Biden is a socialist, and that our country is becoming socialist. Whenever they say things like this, and I know Candice Owens knows that what she's saying is ridiculous. She knows that she's not right here. She knows that she's lying right now. What a fucking liar, dude. She knows that she's lying here. But it's still astonishing to me how willing these people are to lie or be outright wrong.
Ever. What you have allowed to happen to this country because you hate the president so much, it's gonna stick around, okay? If you ever could anyone in a million years have imagined that one day in America they would be telling us when we can go to school, when we can open our business, what we can tweet, what we can put on Facebook, what opinions we're allowed to share, when we have to mask our children. This is crazy. This is a communist country set up, and now to act.
Jesus Christ. For one, you haven't been allowed to post certain things on Twitter and Facebook for as long as Twitter and Facebook have existed. This also isn't what communism is. This is even close to collective public ownership of the means of production and the elimination of class and state. Not even fucking close, by the way. Please do some research on what the fuck communism is. Please! But just learn what it is, for God's sakes. TOS has always existed on these private platforms. Also, was America socialist back during the Spanish flu epidemic? You know who did a really good video debunking these claims? He's not even a leftist or anything. He's just, like, pretty progressive. But, yeah, so Legal has made multiple videos, most notably this one, Masks Are Legal, Dummy. He's an actual lawyer, like a very reputable lawyer as well, with like over a decade of experience, by the way. He has gone into detail not only about historical precedent in regards to the legality of forcing people to wear masks, but also just the general benefits of doing so and why it's dumb to not want to wear one. Here, there's a very particular part where he goes into detail about the history of the Spanish flu and how this isn't like unprecedented in America. Let's see, I'll try to find it through these little... Yep, here it is. I think this is it here.
What?
Okay. Did you put your phone down?
Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
Well, people like the woman in that video will certainly sue Newsom and other local authorities who issue a mandatory mask order. Representatives like Kentucky's Thomas Massie thinks that there's no way that any patriot would ever wear a mask or get vaccinated, which would actually be kind of funny if it weren't so sad, because George Washington conducted the first government-funded inoculation in American history when he had the entire Continental Army vaccinated against smallpox. Although Representative Massey and others think that face mask orders are unprecedented lunacy that Americans have never ever put up with, how do I put this nicely? That is an ahistorical interpretation. Face mask orders were common during the 1918-1919 flu pandemic. They were enforced with citations and fines, much like authorities are proposing today. Some people were even jailed. During the influenza pandemic, there were even influenza courts where people could contest their citations. Unfortunately, there aren't really any written...
This is absolutely historically precedented going back to literally the early 1900s, okay? Literally, George Washington would have been in favor of this shit. There's nothing socialist or communist or anti-American about any of this shit, okay? These people claim to be like the most hardcore fucking patriots out there, but they don't even know any of their fucking history. They don't know anything about American history, yet they claim to, and they openly lie to their audiences, and people fall for this shit.
Add to all of it, we now have an election that goes on for weeks, which literally only happens in socialist countries, right? When they rig it for Hugo Chavez in Venezuela, they stop counting votes, and then suddenly they say they magically found all the votes, and now he's going to be your duly elected president of Venezuela. When they...
Oh my god, she's like pulling how... God, it's so easy to become a conservative grifter. Holy fuck. So this is nothing like any of the coups or false elections that have happened in any of these countries, by the way. Yeah, Venezuela, of course. You know, conservative, talking about socialism. Of course they're going to bring up Venezuela. It's funny to point out, and this has been like literally treaded over a billion times, the courts have found no examples of significant voter fraud that has happened. This has been led up to for literal months due to the pandemic. A vast majority of progressive people that believe that the virus is real, because conservatives are fucking insane and don't believe it's real. They believe it's 5G or fucking Obama's cough machine or whatever the fuck, aren't going to go out to polling stations to vote in person. They're going to do mail-in ballots, which will take longer to count in most states. And we're going to have a longer wait for election results than just a night. It's going to take a few days. It's going to take up to a week. This has been said leading up to everything. Fuck, I mean, like, hold on. We even have fucking John Oliver talking about it. Well, I'm not going to find the exact video about it, but if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. It has been talked about for months leading up to the election that it was going to take a while to count all the votes, and the vast majority of progressive left-leaning Democratic votes are going to be mail-in ballots that are going to come in later because they're still going to be counted. And for the most part, mail-in ballots are counted differently in a different manner and come later than the counted in-person ones do because they're there first.
Rig it for Vladimir Putin. You would imagine this under Joseph Stalin, the censorship that we're seeing happening for doctors who have come out and said things about COVID-19. They are being censored, removed from YouTube, who have said hydroxychloroquine, I treated a patient, it worked. They remove it, and they do it all.
So with the hydroxychloroquine thing, there have been cases in which it has shown a marginal increase in the betterment of the patient, but these have not been backed up by peer-reviewed, data-driven studies. It has been anecdotal incidents that have been used to try to push a narrative that is not backed up scientifically. This has been debunked a multitude of times. Every large peer-reviewed study on the efficacy of hydroxychloroquine to treat coronavirus patients have shown that it has no effect or that it has a negative effect. You can't just go off of you can't try to make a scientific statement about this based on anecdote. Also, the type of doctors that are getting censored for this, hold on, what's that one that said? What was that doctor that was talking about demons? Here it is. It's 9 minutes.
The President of the United States is promoting disproven and potentially harmful medical treatments for COVID-19. And I know, look, it's not new, but in recent days, there's been talk among some of the President's supporters that he was now finally getting it, encouraging mask wearing.
So here's the doctor. Here's one of the doctors that probably got yeeted off of YouTube or whatever.
I came here to Washington, D.C. to tell America, nobody needs to get sick. This virus has a cure. It is called hydroxychloroquine, zinc, and Zithromax. I know people want to talk about mask. Hello? You don't need mask. There is a cure. I know they don't want to open schools. No, you don't need people to be locked down. There is prevention and there is a cure.
keeping them honest, just medically, that is simply not true. The most recent study published last week in the New England Journal of Medicine, which is a very, very reputable medical journal, was done on 504 patients.
Where's the part where she talks about demons?
The President of the United States retweeted last night.
We had a lady right here. She was sitting right there. She had been fantasizing about one of the movie stars. When she came to deliverance ground, during prayer, she started screaming. Her stomach was full, was pregnant. She started screaming. She was tearing off her clothes. She was screaming and screaming like she was in labor. And she said, this thing came out of me. Her stomach deflated. Right here. Real life.
Kind of makes you miss Chuck Woolery, doesn't it?
Jesus Christ. Where's the demons thing? I want to see the one about demons. Oh, it's not here. Where is it? Hold on, I want to see if I can find it.
I have people calling me Dr. Stella. There's a witch off my house doing this. There's a witch. I would have gone to do surgery on witchcraft.
I was very impressed with her and other doctors that stood with her, but certainly you could put her up and let her have a voice.
Jesus Christ! Look at Trump here. What the fuck? He looks like he swallowed demon sperm and vomited it back up, and it came out of his nose. What the fuck? Holy shit. Was this when? This is July. His mouth and nose are just fucking... Oh my god.
Have a voice.
There are witches in our neighborhoods. Witches at our jobs. You don't like the good men or the good women. You always end up being hooked
That was
up
from
with
July.
witches and wizards. And witches and wizards are always following you. You don't know that there are witches at your job. The witches in your office are rising. They come after you and they go higher because they are working this witchcraft and they are going higher and they are stealing your position. And you're sitting there going, I love you with the love of the Lord. So while you're busy struggling, they've taken your money and given it to the warlock called Jay-Z. Your relative comes to live with you. And
This feels like World of Warcraft lore, you know? This feels like something that, this just feels like World of Warcraft lore.
well, she's my mom. If my mom is a witch and I start praying, you will die. It's me that will tell you that your mom is a witch. It's not me. It's not me that will open mouth and tell you that your mother is a witch. Hallelujah. Because sometimes people, little children, big children, which I'm telling you, there are ones that are really little. How a young lady came to our ministry.
What are we watching? This is the doctor that Donald Trump said that he was really proud of. These are the kind of doctors that that Candice Owens is talking about being censored because they're talking about coronavirus being caused by demon cum, okay? And witchcraft. These are the kind of doctors that are being like banned off of social media. They aren't having their freedom of speech taken away. They're just being deplatformed by private like corporations and they're on their platforms.
All for the same reason, safety, right? Safety is the reason that they're removing the opinions of doctors who are actually seeing patients and telling you that something is not right about this COVID-19 narrative. For our safety, they're shutting down our business. For our safety, they are making our children not go to school and only learn virtually and hold a tablet all day. It's all for safety, not fear-mongering, not for government control. It's for safety that they've impoverished millions of Americans who now rely.
I want you to think right now. In what way does the government benefit? Also, Donald Trump is president right now. Do you really think is Donald Trump is the government? Donald Trump is president, right? They're the if America's going socialist and people's rights are being taken away, then it's his fault. He's the president. You understand that, right? For now, he is the president. He has been for the last 4 years. Is it the deep state? Is it the swamp that he built? His administration that he put into place of his best picks that he keeps firing and putting in place every time they even think to speak against him? You know Donald Trump is still president, right? America's going socialist under Donald Trump.
rely on the government for money, right? Freedom is having your own money and deciding how you want to spend it. Slavery is the government giving you money, right? And you begging the government to give you more money, which is happening right now. Nancy Pelosi, we're going to pass more stimulus checks for the people. Don't pass stimulus.
Nancy Pelosi is the one that's unwilling to fucking commit to the fucking stimulus checks. People are pushing right now. What Nancy Pelosi's the one who's not pushing that's not committing to it. Progressives are relentlessly going after Nancy Pelosi for this.
Actually, people open their darn businesses back up. Let the jobs go back so people can take care of themselves.
Also, I'm genuinely curious. You missed it, borrowed cadaver. I really want you to think for a second. If you're like a Candice Owens fan, you're watching this right now. How does the government benefit from businesses being shut down and school not being in, people not being able to go to school? How does the government benefit from this? I'm genuinely curious. Assuming that we have some tyrannical government that's trying to implement control on the people, how does the government benefit from this? How does the government benefit from the economy crashing and burning and there being a housing crisis? You do understand the government is funded by taxpayer money. And if people aren't making money, if businesses aren't thriving, the government suffers from that, right? How does this even, assuming there is some tyrannical government ploy happening, how do they benefit from this? Or is it like the adrenochrome drinking Democrats that just want to see people die? Is that it? That if they want to see people die, then why are they trying to keep people wearing masks and in their homes and not getting sick? And pushing stimulus bills to make sure that people are able to pay their bills as much as possible while they're in quarantine. Their worldview is so fucking delusional and so warped. It's mind-boggling to me.
For all of that sat back and thought that all of this was happening and oh, you know what, it was fine because it made Trump look bad, right? Because you actually thought COVID-19 was going to wipe out the entire population. Well, wake up, because you're about to realize
we're losing a 9/11's worth of people every single day. When 9/11 happened, like how many people died in 9/11? Yeah, almost 3,000 people died in 9/11. Okay, almost 3,000. We're losing roughly, if not more people a day to COVID from this, and we literally have a national holiday around 9/11. We're having a 9/11 every single day, more or less, when it comes to COVID, and these people still aren't taking it seriously. Or, well, they know it's serious. Like, these people all wear masks and they're not on camera or whatever, and they stay in their house and they're quarantining themselves because they know how dangerous it is. These big pundits that are shilling this shit to their fans. But they're advocating that people don't do this. They know how dangerous it is. They know how bad it is. But they know that their fan base is so sycophantic and so fucking insane that they can push this kind of shit and make bank off of it.
What it's like under a socialist regime. When I was censored, and this is how this lawsuit started, and by the way, make sure you share this video. Go to the website, www.factcheckzuck.com.
By the way, Facebook allowed this kind of shit to be perpetuated on their website for so fucking long. The QAnon shit, the fucking anti-vax groups. Finally, Facebook, after so much public recommendation, is finally is fucking finally cracking down on it, and now they're losing their shit. Also, they're going to lose this case, okay? They have no historical, constitutional, or legal basis to win this case. PragerU tried to sue YouTube for this. It was basically a slap suit. It failed. Conservative pundits have tried to sue private companies for banning them or censoring them on their platforms before. They never fucking win because what they're trying to do is unconstitutional. The people suing are doing the unconstitutional thing. These private companies have the right to uphold their own TOS. We're in favor of censorship, I would assume. I mean, all conservatives are pedophiles, so I guess it maybe not, because they seem to be so against censorship. But I imagine they wouldn't be advocating for this if it was child porn being banned off of Twitter or child porn being banned off of Facebook or whatever. They wouldn't be against it then. We're literally all in favor of censorship in some degree, but they just don't like when their opinions are banned or censored. Xander Hall's webcam be having beer goggles today? No, it's actually intentional. Right now I have a background blur applied using NVIDIA broadcast.
You can read about the docket. You can read about the lawsuit we filed. What happened when I decided to launch this website was that during COVID-19, I shared the opinion of an actual doctor who wrote an article talking about the harms of lockdown and talking about how the death counts weren't making sense. This was an actual doctor, okay? And Facebook not only censored.
I'm interested to see what the deal is with this doctor. Stella Emanuel. Ha! It's the same lady! It's the demon come lady. It was the same lady that she's... it's the same person. It's not even someone like that or pushing the same kind of weird pseudoscience shit. It's literally the demon come lady who believes that witchcraft is real and shit like that. It's literally the demon come doctor. Unironically. Oh my god. She's a doctor but crazy and works at a fucking strip mall. Yes, platforming this fucking nut job is deplatforming that fucking nut job is probably the right thing to do. I'm taking the hardline controversial stance on this one, chat.
Censored my page and removed the post. They wrote an article and they decided that it was not true because they had found another doctor who disagreed. So basically, Facebook censored me because their doctor was better than mine. When I looked...
No, not their doctor. The vast majority of peer-reviewed data and the overall consensus of the medical community
into who these fact checkers were, I was astonished to find leadstories.com, an official Facebook fact checker, was actually a company that was created in 2016 by a man named Alan Duke, a single man named Alan Duke, right? Who is Alan Duke? Alan Duke is a former editor of CNN of 26 years. So in 2016, when Donald Trump wins, he leaves CNN and he starts an official fact-checking firm. And Facebook grants him the business, somehow a license, a brand new business, says, you're going to be the official fact checker. These fact checkers have made themselves the Supreme Court. No one can dispute them except they're not following the Constitution. It's just a complete banana republic. They decide...
Does she know what words mean? Holy shit. This is like there's no arguments here either. It's like just a jumble of like buzzwords like banana republic, socialism, Venezuela. What the fuck are you talking about? The fact checkers have made themselves the Supreme Court. What the fuck are you saying, Candice Owens? What the fuck are you talking about? I'm blown away. I'm trembling at your integrity and your rhetorical rigor.
They don't want to hear your opinion and you're censored. If you could say right now on Facebook, an actual experience, you can say, I was standing in line and someone snatched my ballot and stole it from me. And if you wrote your true story, they would fact check you and they'd say untrue and that the election, it has election integrity. They are fact checking your experiences, your opinions, and these people are obviously not official fact checkers, not elected. How can you be an official fact checker, right? We haven't elected.
Not elect? Fact checkers aren't elected. What are you talking about? What?
You. We have no idea who you are. You worked for CNN for 26 years. You're an activist, Alan Duke. So I turned to my husband. Obviously, at the time, I was 5 months.
Elected fact? What are you... what the fuck am I watching right now? I'm a triggered libtard right now. I'm sorry, libcuck. I apologize. I'm a triggered libcuck right now. What? Oh my god. What? I don't know what the fuck am I watching?
Months pregnant. I'm 8 months pregnant now. I'm just about to be 8 months pregnant, rather. And I said, we can't sit back and do nothing about this because everyone is complaining and no one is doing anything. And we need to launch a massive lawsuit. And I want the best lawyers, lawyers that I can't really afford. But it's okay.
Oh my god, she's gonna ask for money. She's gonna ask for money. She's gonna start she's gonna do like a Patreon or like a GoFundMe thing to hire really good lawyers for a case that she can't possibly win because it's unconstitutional.
Because I trusted that we would be able to crowd raise and fundraise this. So we have...
Wait, she did ask for she asked for money and then didn't get enough for the lawyers she wanted for a case that isn't gonna go anywhere?
Spent about up to this point over $40,000. We hired first and foremost Todd McMurtry. You guys know him because he...
I don't even make $40,000 in a year. Oh my fucking god. Jesus Christ.
is the lawyer from Nicholas Sandmann's case, Nick Sandmann, who won against CNN and the fake news media and settled that case. He was one of the lawyers on the team. We also hired a man by the name of John P. Cole. You probably don't know his name because he's been retired for quite some time. He is an absolute legend. What John P. Cole did, he settled the biggest lawsuit that has ever been settled in the history of the world for multiple $1 billion against big tobacco. I went to him, I knew him as a friend, and approached him about this lawsuit and said, we need you. We need the fighters, people that are willing to go up. If you went up against big tobacco, I bet you'll go up against big tech. So we have built an incredible legal team. There's a few more lawyers on it, and we filed lawsuit last week.
What are they arguing against? The ability, they're trying to make it so that social media platforms can't fact check people's posts or ban them for breaking TOS. You know what's like, are they going to try to like make it just so conservative pundits can be on these websites without any repercussions? Are they going to try to push? You do realize that, so there's been a ton of websites that have tried to sort of like perpetuate this ideology, like BitChute, for example, where it's like you can't be banned for anything, no censorship, and they always end up becoming havens for child porn. That's what these places always end up being. Every time. And then they end up having to implement a TOS because they find out that people end up posting child porn and shit there. That's what always ends up fucking happening. Or like organizing like far-right terrorist attacks like what happened in Christchurch. That's what always fucking ends up happening.
Which I'm ecstatic about. First and foremost, up against lead stories in USA Today, we are going after Mark Zuckerberg's fact checkers. Our goal is to add more fact checkers. I want to go after PolitiFact. I want to go after every single one of these people who think that they are gods as they censor our opinions and tell us how we are allowed to communicate on Facebook. Again, I don't care how much you hate Candice Owens. You better wake up. If you think you're safe because they're censoring someone you don't like, you wait until it's you. If you think it's okay what has happened in terms of this election, you're happy when people are getting censored talking about their real opinions, just wait until someone that you like is on the ballot and you see them being censored off. I mean, I think some of you guys did see this. I know there was a ton of people talking about what happened with Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders supporters who were talking about this sort of a thing. It is time to fight back. I don't care who your candidate is. I don't care who you like. I don't care.
God, the camera, it's like she's about to cry. The camera is like progressively getting shakier and shakier. And she's like, fuck, I don't even have my phone with me. We'll pretend this vape is my phone. She's like, yeah. You guys just wait. We're going to win this case. It's completely unconstitutional. And we have no legal precedent or legal or historical precedent to win this case. But we're going to win the case. It's going to happen. We're going to win this fucking case. It's, oh my God. The fear-mongering these people engage in is wild. Yeah, huffing pure copium right now.
Care who you follow on Facebook. I can't stand certain people like Chrissy Teigen. I think she's a horrible human being, but you know what? I want you to be able to listen to her opinions. I don't want her being fact-checked. If that's who you like and that's who you want to listen to, then God bless you. I think a lot of these leftists suck. I can't stand AOC. I cannot stand her. But you know what? I look at her and I see some of the things that she writes and I know that she's lying. I have nothing in my heart thinks that it is the right of somebody else to fact-check her based on bias on her opinions, right? If she thinks America's a horrible, corrupt, racist country, I don't want that fact-checked and removed. I want to prove her wrong with my free speech. That is what this country was built on, free speech. Your free speech may be your opinion may be wrong, but I want to protect your wrong opinion, right, with my right opinion. I want to be able to speak. We have to be able to speak and to have conversations. We cannot have this happening. We've got weak politicians who are allowing this to go on. I don't want to see another measly, I'm going to bring Jack in.
I love how it used to be facts don't care about your feelings, and now it's literally we're suing the fact checkers now. This is how far these people have fallen. We're getting to the point where left-wing, the left is starting to have a much larger rise. Like, I don't think this is debatable, but the left is starting to see a much larger resurgence and rise in America. A much more prominent sort of progressive outlet is growing, especially online. It used to be that particularly online, the right had the upper hand, and it still kind of does, to essentially... Like, the right had a monopoly on political discussion online for a really long time, for a while. But now, we're seeing the reverse of it. We're seeing that the left is starting to get way more popular, seeing people like ContraPoints hitting 1 million subs and more left-wing creators getting bigger and bigger than ever. And that's fantastic. It's very pog. However, this is really, really upsetting these people because for a long time, they had like this echo chamber where they were able to have their ideas, but now people are actually speaking against them and they're losing their minds over it.
to Congress and ask him questions and do nothing about it. We need to hit them where it hurts. Where it hurts is in their pockets. So again, we have done a lawsuit. We have launched it. You can visit factcheckzuck.com. Candice Owens versus Mark Zuckerberg and his weak little string of meek fact checkers. We're going after them. I've had enough of this. I want to jump on here.
You know what's really funny? Didn't Mark Zuckerberg, like, I hate Mark Zuckerberg, fuck the dude, but he literally got grilled by, was it the Supreme Court? Like, it was a massive court case that happened where he got in trouble for allowing misinformation. And like back in like 2017 or 2018, there was literally a case where he had to go on trial and was held to task for allowing misinformation to be spread on his platform. He faced legal repercussions for doing what they want to happen on these platforms. That's literally what happened here. Yeah, this is literally going to be Social Autopsy 2.0, where she's going to be grilled by everybody for this. She's going to get blown the fuck out in court. It's going to be a waste of money. It's going to be a waste of the money that people donated to her. It's going to fail on like the first fucking leg of the lawsuit. It's just not going to go anywhere. Like, this is literally what he was allowing to happen on his platform before, and he had to crack down on it because he was facing legal repercussions for allowing misinformation to be so prominently spread on his platform without any repercussions.
Here to allow you guys, you can follow this on Instagram, on Facebook, plug in the docket number, see what we're doing, and please give what you can. I hate asking for money in the middle of like a pandemic.
Okay, she's asking for money now. This is basically the end of the video. This is hilarious to me. She's gonna get blown the fuck out in this court case. This isn't gonna go anywhere. This is probably the most obvious grift I've ever seen. She's gonna get blown the fuck out. She's gonna waste all the money of the people donating to her. All these fucking simps that are endlessly, I'm so glad I'm in YouTube and I can say this. These fucking simps that are just pouring money on her. She's gonna waste all of it. She's going to continue to live in her unironic ivory tower. She is in the top 1% with how much money she makes from all the shit she's done. Like, she's gonna keep grifting and she's gonna make a shit ton of money off of it. It's actually wild to me how willing these right-wing grifters are willing to lie to their audience and just shill and make tons of money off of it. I hope one day the left is this successful, just for the sake that we have the platform to spread the truth around rather than these like blatant lies. Like, literally, we're going to sue fact checkers because they're debunking our lies. This level of like hacketry, of this partisan hackness. Jesse Two Stones says you're lying. Hey, buddy, you want to get on and talk about it? You want to talk about it, buddy? Here. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. I appreciate having all of you on. If you like this video, make sure to leave a like. It helps the video a lot. If you're new, subscribe, ring the bell icon so you actually get notified whenever I go live or upload a new video. You can also follow my Discord and my Twitter through the link in the description. Join the Discord, follow me on Twitter. It's all very appreciated. Thank you so much. If you have any extra money sitting around you don't need for anything else, you can always donate or sub on the website, xanderhall.com/live. Click the join button, become a member on YouTube, or sub me on Patreon. It's always appreciated. It's how I can do what I do. I'm a YouTuber. It's my job. So your support is what I live off of entirely. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good one.